Next news. Breaking news from the White House.
Quote, anybody who's affiliated with the U.S., F them. That's what the woman snapped on camera. Then Savannah Craven's crew hits her with Iran, real Iran. Women can't show their hair, can't live free, gays can't exist openly, and you can watch the anti-American swagger drain right out of the spoiled leftists in real time. And that's the part I want you to sit with. She trashes America while standing safely in America. And the second reality shows up, the act starts cracking. And she's not fringe. That poison runs straight through the Democrat base right now. And wait till you hear what the Democrat Socialists say next about borders and deportations. If you want to be an up-and-comer in the Democrat Party, you have to be a declared socialist. Ben Ferguson ripping the mask off. Steve Guest backing it up flat out. Socialism has taken over their party. So when that woman spits anybody who's affiliated with the U.S., F them. Don't let any slick media clown sell you the lone weirdo routine. No, we're looking at the culture the Democrat machine fed, flattered, and pushed. And look at Grace Mausser, the New York City DSA co-chair. Fox asked a dead simple question, open borders and no deportations? And she can't answer it because the answer blows up their whole scam. She ducks into Ellis Island nostalgia while Trump fights to secure the country right now. You see the pattern? America-hating street radicals, DSA infiltrators, celebrity socialists cheering wealth taxes until their own bank accounts get hit. This isn't protest energy. This is a hostile ideology aimed right at sovereignty, law, success, and the nation that gave these people everything. When Grace Mausser can't even say who gets to stay in America, you better ask a harder question. What happens when the same people wire your money into systems you don't control? Everybody cheers AI in the cloud until your bank locks, your access vanishes, and your savings exist as digits that can't be frozen by a keystroke only until the keystroke hits. Noble Gold Investments gives you something real. Physical gold, physical silver, a coin you can hold, a bar you can stack, something that doesn't live on a server. It can't be erased by code. It can be shipped to your door or held in a tax-advantaged retirement account. Go to nextnewsgold.com. Just mention my name for a free 10-ounce, that's right, 10-ounce U.S. independent silver bar when you open a new qualified account. Own reality before radicals digitize everything. Now, Grace Mausser gets asked open borders and not having deportations and instantly flees into a grandmother at Ellis Island story. You're going to see the dodge. Don't miss it. She doesn't defend law, she doesn't defend deportations, and she sure doesn't defend the border. She hides. Because the real DSA position is demilitarize the border, sideline enforcement, and shame you for wanting a country at all. And that line, it lines up perfectly with the woman screaming, F anybody tied to America. Same sickness, different microphone. I'm going to walk you through the receipts now because these posts nail the whole machine to the wall. Ready for this? Listen.
Anybody who's affiliated with the U.S., fuck them. I hate anybody affiliated with the U.S. Which flag is the most offensive?
Yeah, which one is the most offensive? That's the Iranian regime flag. Do you know what that one is? Soviet Union?
Soviet Union?
Yep.
Yo. Anybody who's affiliated with the U.S., fuck them. I hate anybody affiliated with the U.S.
You're affiliated with the U.S.
You're right. I hate that I'm affiliated with the U.S.
Why?
Yo, this is a freaking dictatorship. Trump sucks mad.
Aren't you gay?
I am. How could you tell? You judge a book by its cover? How do you know I was gay?
Because I'm gay and I know gay people.
Okay, the gaydar is going off real strong.
These are worse than this.
I got a lot of learning to do. Teach me something.
In the Iranian regime, women cannot own property, women cannot show their hair, women cannot vote, women cannot hold public office.
Can't be gay.
And if you want to divorce your husband under the Iranian regime, no matter how horrible they are, they get your children. Anything I just said apply to America?
No.
How is this oppressing you? How are you oppressed right now?
I'm KKK. I'm a...
She's black!
I'm a black woman, a part of the KKK.
And I'm gay!
black woman in America. Gay, black, and a woman.
What can you not do that other people can?
What can I not
Legally.
do? What can I not do that other people can legally? Is this?
It's okay to admit that you don't know if there's.
I don't know.
Because there is nothing. And let me tell you, as a gay woman, a lot of us have been brainwashed to believe that we are oppressed, right? We can get married, we can have kids, we can hold a job. There's nothing a gay woman can't do that a straight woman can. Nothing.
What's your outreach? Like, what are you guys trying to do? Like,
So exactly what we just did is
Like
have a
you're teaching.
conversation.
We want to make sure that people like you are not believing that they're
So
oppressed, because
60
that
million.
actually keeps you down.
Oh, that was beautiful. Savannah Craven on the camera. So the beach interview wrecks the victimhood script in real time. Next, a top New York DSA official gets a simpler question on open borders and starts to tap dance. Enter New York City DSA co-chair Grace Mausser, who dodges when asked if she believes in open borders and no deportations.
Do you really believe in open borders and not having deportations? That's just incredibly contrary to law enforcement and security.
America has a really long history of welcoming working class immigrants. My grandmother and her mother came through Ellis Island and worked from Germany and worked as seamstresses. I mean, we
But we
believe
have criminal
that
illegal aliens in the country. Don't they need to be removed?
we believe that demilitarizing the border, that violent oppression of working class immigrants who come here, is not something that most Americans want. And I think the backlash to President Trump's policies really show that.
She couldn't even give a straight answer on deportation. Ben Ferguson lays it out. Socialism isn't from some fringe sideshow. It's climbing straight into the party mainstream. Socialism isn't the fringe anymore. It's the mainstream of the Democrat Party.
Look, there's a civil war, and it seems the mainstream Democrats have lost it, that socialism has taken over their party. And if you want to be an up-and-comer in the Democratic Party, you have to be a declared socialist. This goes back to Graham Plattner and the reason why they were willing to apologize for so many horrific indiscretions, and they were willing to protect him at all costs. This was created by the woman right there on the screen, AOC and Bernie Sanders. They said that they were socialists, and people kind of laughed it off, and they're like, oh, they're just kind of an extreme wing of the party. No, they're not. This is now the mainstream of the Democratic Party. So look, Republicans, if you talk about their agenda between now and November, it's a very tight vote count. You mentioned that in your monologue. But Democrats have a bigger problem going the midterms than I think they could have ever imagined, which is, who are we and how much do we have to lie to the voters to convince them? You can get a socialist elected in some places like New York City. You can get a socialist elected in San Francisco or L.A., but can you get one elected statewide in a place like Maine, for example? That's going to be their problem.
And it's a big problem for them to have. If socialism is now Democrats' main brand, the next clip shows how that takeover works. This Canary Mission video argues the DSA isn't partnering with Democrats, it's using them as a tool to hide from the inside. Spencer Pratt, socialism is sedition.
It's no secret that the Democratic Socialists of America hate the Democratic Party.
I think we're all on the same page that we hate the Democratic Party.
The Democratic Party is not really our friend. It isn't.
So why are the DSA such major players in the Democratic Party? This odd relationship can be understood with the cuckoo analogy. In nature, the cuckoo survives by trickery. It lays its egg in another bird's nest. The unsuspecting parents raise the imposter as their own until the cuckoo grows strong enough to push the true chicks out. The DSA is the cuckoo inside the Democratic Party.
DSA is not the Democratic Party.
We must separate ourselves from the toxic Democratic Party.
We can put forward a clear, aggressive, principled strategy that pushes back against the Democratic leadership and the Democratic Party as a whole.
DSA candidates run as Democrats in safe blue districts. They slip through low turnout primaries. And once inside, they use the Democratic label as camouflage while advancing an extremist anti-American agenda far beyond the party's mainstream.
I don't agree with the Democratic Party, but it's a great tool.
The Democratic is a tool that we use.
Once in office, DSA candidates take orders from DSA's internal enforcers and working groups. City halls and state houses start running as socialist machines controlled by the organization, not the Democratic Party, and certainly not voters.
They have to have a connection with DSA's internal politics, and they have to be committed to the eventual goal of building a separate entity from the Democrats.
DSA are revolutionaries, and the Democrats are their first victims. And in city after city, DSA victories prove their plan works.
I think that the model that we used in New York is 100% replicatable.
And just like the cuckoo, once the DSA grows strong, it pushes the true Democrats out, hollowing the party from within,
building towards political independence and tearing apart the Democratic Party.
The DSA is not here to strengthen the Democratic Party. It is here to consume it.
We're not here to make the Democrats a little bit better. We're here to actually enact socialism. And socialism is not just better capitalism. It's overthrowing the entire capitalist state.
It's our duty, DSA, to cultivate this power.
The cuckoo is in the nest, and New York City is poised to elect not a Democrat, but Zohran Mamdani, an extremist within the DSA.
We understand that winning an election is not an end. It is a means to an end.
The most important thing that we can do is take that empire down from within.
Ultimately to overthrow our own empire.
We need a movement that can drive a stake through the heart of the empire.
We need to orient ourselves towards insurrection.
Wow. Canary Mission nailed that one. Spencer Pratt amplified it. And when radicals use the party as cover, even their celebrity cheerleaders feel the pain. Ben Stiller backs the socialists and suddenly has a problem when the wealth tax starts hitting people like him. Ben Stiller voted for the guy, then found out the tax plan had his name on it. It's amazing how fast tax the rich becomes, wait, you mean me? Nothing says buyer's remorse like realizing you're on the receiving end of the very policy you cheered for. Congratulations, Ben. You got exactly what you voted for. Ben Stiller turns on New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani. Months after endorsing and voting for him, woke actor Ben Stiller now blasting Mamdani's proposed wealth tax on people worth over $1 million. So, remember that quote? Women cannot own property. Women cannot show their... And then, of course, the clip cuts. Through her tantrum, that's the reality check. Not a slogan, not a campus chant. Iran's regime crushes women and gays for real. And this anti-American left is still open with hatred for the United States. See, I stopped there because that single exchange torches the whole left-wing fantasy. They romanticize regimes and movements that would crush them first. AOC and Bernie Sanders opened the door to this garbage, and the DSA stormed right through it. Spencer Pratt's cuckoo bird point nails it. They nested inside the Democrat Party, grew fat, and started shoving out everybody else. Then Ben Stiller gives you the cherry on top. He backed Mamdani, then started squealing when the wealth tax tagged millionaires over $1 million. That's the left in one frame, smug until reality sends the bill. Democrats need to answer for Grace Mausser, for Zohran Mamdani, and for that F the USA clip. No more hiding behind activists and energy and all the other garbage labels they use to dress up their contempt for America. You and I just watched the receipts. The Democrat Party let socialism set up shop inside its own walls. Ben Ferguson said, if you want to rise in that party, you have to declare yourself a socialist. Believe him. The evidence is all over this story. DSA radicals dodge deportation questions. Celebrity liberals beg to tax the rich until they find out that they are the rich. Street leftists trash the country that protects their freedom to mouth off in the first place. So what comes next? We reject it. Loudly. We back Trump's America First movement harder. We expose every anti-American fraud by name, and we stop pretending this poison is harmless. These people don't need another excuse. They need a political defeat so complete they never get near the wheel again. And I want to make sure that you are clearly holding the wheel. That's why I set up this telephone number. I've seen your messages. I understand your frustration. Thousands and thousands of patriots are getting the notifications that YouTube never sends because I'm sending them to you guys directly to your phone every night. Just text raw feed to 844-840-4963 and get on the inside track with the Next News Network.
The system controls information. Information control is power. I want you to see this. The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.